Alrighty, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you coming back, I guess, if this is your first time coming or stumbling across the channel, welcome. My name is Rooslahn. I cover survival games, and in this very moment, in this very instance, I want to shine some light and dedicate this video to a low-poly survival game called Ardem. I've been extremely invested in it, so much so that I have been keeping my eyes out for this one very closely ever since it was brought up to me by one of the people in my comment section. Which, once again, I'm forever grateful that it was brought up to me because it truly brings a certain vibe and atmosphere to it that I have not yet seen in basically any other survival game. And it feels very clean. The character feels like he's got weight to him, so he doesn't feel light when he moves. It's a very odd statement, and it's hard to describe it unless you truly lay your hands on it, but that's one of the things that I truly enjoy about it. But this game is a mixture between DayZ and Project Zomboid in terms of mechanics, and despite the fact that the game is looking a bit more vibrant and less visually realistic, if that's the term you'd like to use, the realism that is taking place in this game is extremely cool and fantastic. This game already has some truly impressive mechanics already implemented that are very difficult to implement in the first place. One being electricity. You have different variants of fuse boxes. I believe there is 5 different levels to them, one being very simple and 5 being more complex and perhaps a bit more challenging to craft, but a lot more capable, which would make sense. This is the type of game where you could have different switches on walls and all of them could be used in different rooms, meanwhile being powered by the same generator. Then obviously you will have different energy sources to choose from, whether it's gasoline powered energy or simply solar system. The options are truly dependable on the player's choices, and the game will ultimately test your creativity when it comes to that, which is kind of cool. On top of that, even though the map is not exactly fully finished and it is not procedurally generated, the size of it is going to surprise a lot of people because it truly did surprise me. It is 64 square kilometers, which is just a tiny bit smaller than GTA 5. So that should give you an idea as to what you should expect as far as choosing a place to settle in on, which is nuts. The map has also been made by scratch by the team themselves, so everything has a purpose to it. If you think there is a way around a certain obstacle in the game, more than likely there very much is. There is no zombies in the game, and instead you are dealing with drones and robots that have ultimately taken over the world, and you, along with many other players, are the only survivors in Ardem, just trying to figure out a way to live in this broken world, so to speak. The outer shell of the story, and I'm going to keep it extremely basic and short, it basically goes like this. Humanity at some point relied on robots for an alternative life that's more simple, and of course, we as humans, we like simple things in life. So you probably had robots cleaning houses, buying groceries for people, delivering packages to people, and at some point something went terribly wrong. And the robots started to eliminate people based on the groups that they fell into. And long after, you are one of the survivors and you get to see the final verdict of this horrific disaster that at some point took place. It's an incredibly interesting story plot, and because of it, expect to have a bunch of Easter eggs present in the game. And who knows, maybe at some point we will have a full story for this game. One thing I can tell you from experience, these guys are incredibly talented. Some of them were modders back in the day. Actually, Philip and Simon at some point were modders for Skyrim back in the day. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how they also met. So, and at some point they just got together and talked about it and decided to make a survival game. And if you know modding, you understand that old school modders are very dangerous people. They're dangerous with their craft, simply because modding back in the day was a lot more challenging and involved a lot more headache and loops to jump through. Don't get me wrong, modding still is pretty complicated, but if you lay one and the other side by side, back in the day modders had a lot more to overcome, definitely more so than the current modders, I feel like. But either way, it's not to say that modding is easy nowadays, because it's very much not, but we have more tools available to us when it comes to that. And back in the day, they just had to work very hard to make something work. So anyways, when you have one very powerful mind combined with another one, you create something truly spectacular, and so Ardem was born. Definitely check it out, join their Discord, and keep an eye out for its development and just updates. You can visit their website or simply just keep tabs on it through Steam if that's the the route you want to take. I will come back and visit this game every once in a while, get more updates out, and I definitely want to make more content when it comes to Ardem. These guys just did their homework, and I think they did it right. I strongly suggest joining the playtest because if you think about, developers will get the feedback from you, and it would only get better from there. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to waste too much of your time. If you just simply want to keep your tabs on it, just like I said, through Steam, you can. Thank you for swinging by, and I'll talk to you later.